got another world tour, touching every shore, from Cali to Singapore. Every day I'm seeing more in the temple.
First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jackson looking to throw right away. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Breaking through to drop him. That's Perrion Winfrey.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there in the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
After the sack on first down, Jackson. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Jackson. Going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's Watson. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Browns who got the victory then, so they'll look for the season sweep here in Cleveland. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. The Browns at 12-3 now on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And between the last two plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field. I think you'd have to say Nick Chubb, pound for pound, one of the most powerful runners in the NFL. He proved it there. And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there. 5 yards from the end zone, 1st and goal. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass. And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands. They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. That's the NFL vet Calais Campbell coming in and dragging him down.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
2 yards on the pickup there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all with this group. They've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Jordan Stout now. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Pulled in at the 24. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about to get to the playoffs in the NFL, You have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your #1 path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Watson. Drops it off for Chubb. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Defense was thinking right, and they dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Odafe Owe, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play. Was complete.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Here's Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw is Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. Dobbins on the slant route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up the 1st down.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And some room to work. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from taking the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb, and he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
Now a first down throw. Watson looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on third down, Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They go play action now. Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Jackson. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He'll look to throw. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Tucker's kick is good, and they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So a roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see. Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it. The final shot before the break. Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Fielded at about the 28. The ball comes out, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
On first down, Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, it's Nick Chubb. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Now, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Another run here with Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.